And good afternoon to you. It's that time of day again, Thursday, and that means Chamber Talk on Regional Radio KJL. I'm Patty Burns. We're broadcasting live from the offices of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. Of course, the beautiful Miss Ashley Mahan is here with me, and we've got a great lineup of guests as well. We have got, let's see, Casey Shadle from Shadle's Funeral Home, Titan Media Works, Ryan Shear, and Heritage Bank, Matt Amsberg, and of course, the ever wonderful Miss
Me?
Jamie.
Oh.
Jamie's not here.
Jamie
Oh, okay.
Johansson. She's in the
invisible
background.
over there. Okay. Well, Ashley, lots of stuff going on. Let's see. This Saturday is the ribbon cutting for what?
It's Snickle Fritz Boutique. Yes,
Snickle
this is a new
Fritz.
business in town. They are having their ribbon cutting. It's scrapbooking and crafts. So I think this is something our community kind of needed, and I'm really excited that they're opening. But during the grand opening ribbon cutting, they'll have some giveaways, and you can also sign up for some classes.
And it's on Monroe Street, South Monroe. I love how some of our newer businesses that are coming in are locating in some of the less populated areas, you know, where there's more parking available and such for the customers.
Yes, they're over there, and it's right next to another new chamber member, Rocky Rolled Ice Cream. So you can go get your ice cream, get your scrapbooking goodies, and call it a day.
Why haven't they been on Chamber Talk yet?
They just joined.
Oh, okay.
Yep, they're brand
Okay,
new.
I was going to say samples.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they could bring their, their big marble board with them and everything. Yeah. That's probably not going to happen. But yeah, stop in and see them. It's 10 a.m. this Saturday, 742 South Monroe Street. Coming up on Tuesday, June 11th. This is kind of neat. Running Your Roots, Genealogy 101 at the library.
The library always has some great programs going on. This is actually a 4-part series. I've been seeing them pop up on my Facebook, so it looks like it's going to be a really interesting series all around, and they'll be focusing on how to document your family history in all aspects. So pretty neat.
And that's really a big thing now because we all want to know where we're from, where we came from, who our family is. And sometimes people are really surprised when they find out who their ancestors are.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you. My husband's dad did a search. He's actually related to Pocahontas. Real story, like true life, like Pocahontas. I would never have guessed that. Very interesting.
I
So,
believe it.
yeah.
I do. Lots of, and here's the fun thing. Before we got on the show, Ryan was talking about going to work in Tennessee. My roots are actually in Tennessee. That's where my family came from, was Tennessee. My great-great-grandfather, yeah.
Those grades, they get confusing.
Yes, it may be another grade in there. But anyway, but that's kind of neat. It's a small world. Coming up on Friday, June 14th, is the VFW steak dinner. And folks, if you've never tried this, I'm just like, I tried it for the first time, I think it was last month. And I was like, whoa, this is a good steak. I mean, I was chasing down the chef. This is awesome. What's your secret? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
That's
So-
great, and it's a great price, too.
Yes.
$15 for steak, an 8-ounce sirloin, baked potato, salad bar, garlic bread, and a dessert. I mean, you really can't beat that.
No, and it's the Boy Scouts help out with this, and they actually earn money through their
Oh,
efforts of
I
this.
did not
yeah.
know that, so
Yep.
that's good to
Another
know.
thing, yeah. And on Saturday, June 15th, Blues, Brews, and Barbecue at Riverfront Campground.
Yeah, that's almost a tongue twister there. 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. They'll have a blues band, some drink specials, barbecue food truck, and a cornhole tournament. There is an admission price, $5 for the kiddos and $10 for adults.
And also on Saturday, June 15th, first of all, downtown.
Yes, downtown has their cruising going on, and they have all kinds of stuff from cornhole tournaments to the Dad of the Year contest, which they did that last year. I got to be a judge, and that was hilarious. I mean, we had some great contestants, and they all should have won, in my opinion. And then just different activities with all the downtown businesses, too.
Absolutely. And then also, same day, grand opening or grand reopening of Champion Express.
I don't know. There's just too much going on Saturday. How are you going to pick? Yes, Champion Express has their grand reopening at 5 p.m. is when we are going to cut the ribbon, but they're going to have activities all night long. They'll have a cruise-in car show. They have some food trucks and barbecue as well. That's going to be made by the employees. So, yeah.
Fun time on Saturday, June 15th here in Lebanon, Missouri. And one more thing before we talk to our guests. First Friday is tomorrow.
It is. I love First Fridays. I think it's a great opportunity for downtown to have some extended hours and specials for everybody to get out and go enjoy. So, yep, it's. I can't believe it's already here, though.
I know, I
It kind of
know.
went fast.
Now, is it the First Friday? Is that where they're doing the concert at the
The
shrine?
concert is,
Yeah.
it's, during First Friday down
Yeah.
at the Shrine Building.
Yeah, down the shrine. So live music, great deals, and yeah, just all different kinds of funds going on downtown Lebanon for First Friday. Matt Amsberg with Heritage Bank of the Ozarks is here with us, and June is Home Ownership Month, right?
Yes, it is.
And so I guess first question before we start getting into the benefits of home ownership and all that, that's important. But what's really important is our interest rates. Are we in a buyer's market or are we in a seller's market? Do you know? Interest rates
Rates
are.
is a big topic. That's way
Yes.
more than we probably have time for today. But
Oh yeah.
every time you turn on the news channel, there's going to be something going on about the interest rates. But hopefully they're going to get a little more favorable here in the next few months, but we'll see.
Has that affected home ownership? Persons
It
applying
can,
for loans?
yeah, it can. Really not so much on if you're like a first-time home buyer, because I mean, the rental rate market is so high. Your rates for rents are so up right now that it's a good time to still buy because you're still able to get into a home for pretty much the same price you're paying rent. It can be a little difficult for that sticker shock if you've got a 3% mortgage and you're wanting to upgrade. So that can be a little sticker shock, but that's always where you just have a conversation with us to let us talk you through that. So.
Well, talking about renting and home owning, there are several benefits to being a homeowner, correct?
Yeah, certainly. When you're writing that rent check every month, that's building equity to somebody else. It's going to someone else's income, someone else is building equity in that property. So, that's just an expense of living somewhere every single month. When you actually own a home, you're building that equity. And obviously, in a perfect world, it's going to continue to appreciate and gain more value in that house. But if anything, you're still going to be building that equity on the home.
And now, what about like the liabilities, family liabilities, home's worth and all of that? How does that all figure into your day-to-day life and what you're investing in a home?
I mean, that's going to make up the majority. The majority of your net worth is going to come from your house. Most people that you see, when you're looking at their financial statement to look at all their assets, the majority of that's going to come from your home, and that's where people build most of their wealth. Is what's going to be invested in their home. Again, that's going to, over time, it has usually always appreciated in value and continued to gone up. There's obviously cycles that we see, but over time, that's where people tend to build their greatest part of their net worth.
So is it buying a home, I think, also allows people to put down roots and get more involved.
Yes, because I mean, if you are, when you own a home, it's not like dealing with that lease that's going to come up every 6 months to a year. You get invested in a home, and not just in a home, but in a community. As far as being active in your community, being a part of it, because you are, you literally own ground that's in this community.
Now, for first-time home buyers, sometimes they underestimate their total debt And that can play a part in whether or not you can even afford to own a home.
Yeah, sometimes when you're trying to figure out what you can afford, that can be kind of a difficult task to understand what we're going to look at, what we count, as far as what payments are, and some people, as far as what your bills or debt payments, that's where a good it's a good time to have a conversation with us to walk through that to really, really help you get a grasp on what that is. We can help you also back into what you can afford, because sometimes people are used to, I can pay this much a month, but that doesn't immediately translate into the sales price of a home. Well, we can help you, fill in the rest of that equation, to back into what that looks like on buying a house based on what I want to spend every month.
I remember when I bought my first home, I had to go through an education program to learn about responsible spending and debt to income ratio and all of that. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, there still is home ownership counseling that you can, there's places all around the area that you can get information on to be able to help with that. And we're also a resource for that as well, to be able to find the contacts and just, start a conversation with us to kind of get a good grasp on, what you think you can afford. We can help talk you through that conversation.
Okay, we're ready to buy a home. We've made that decision. What's our next step? What's our first step?
Well, if you're going to be borrowing money on that house, that's where you need to come talk to us, because we're going to help you through that whole process, because it can be a little overwhelming with all the different steps involved. And, we can even be helpful on those next, those other steps that may not be bank related, but just, giving some advice on this is some things to look for that you need, and just giving the whole advice as far as through that start to finish of that process.
How important is it to get pre-approved?
It's very important, because there's realtors are very busy, and it helps them as far as when they're going to be showing a property, knowing that that you can afford this house, or even if you can't afford it, that you've understood what that payment's going to be, that you want to be able to pay that every month, whichever side that may fall on. So that's definitely something that's important.
Whenever someone does come to speak with you, Matt, do you guys talk to them about the cost of insurance, the cost of annual real estate taxes,
Yeah.
all of those things that are, you can't get away from it.
Yeah, and a lot of times we have those, it can be optional. Sometimes it can be mandatory, but the escrow portion of those payments for taxes and insurance, that's part of the approval. And sometimes that can impact on whether you want to buy a particular home because of what those taxes and insurance are. And that's where it's good to have a conversation with us, because we can easily, quickly look up those taxes. We can kind of have a good idea of what maybe the insurance may run, just to get an idea of what that payment's going to be, because it can definitely impact whether you decide to buy a home or not.
Mm-hmm. I have heard more than a few people recently say, there's no way I can afford to buy a house. Do you think they're undervaluing themselves?
I think so, because a lot of times people, that may say that, they're usually making their rent, they're probably making their rent payment on time every month, and that mortgage payment may be the same, and maybe a little more, maybe a little less, as far as what that monthly payment may be. And also we've got, with being able to do USDA loans, that's no money down. Sometimes that down payment can be a little intimidating, but with our options for USDA or FHA, those are smaller down payments than the traditional 20% down.
Okay. Is it hard to qualify for USDA or FHA or VA loans?
We can walk you through that whole process, just to kind of go through what it looks like to qualify for those. It's they're very similar on all the different products that you're looking at, aside from VA, with, needing to be a veteran on that one. But the rest of them, they're pretty similar in their qualifications. And once, we can get into the weeds to kind of let you see which particular product's going to be best.
Mm-hmm. One more thing. Do you help them through, say, someone applies for pre-approved loan, okay, and you get to the end of checking all of their credit scores and all of that, and you go, uh-oh, you've got this, and it's got to, do you guys talk to them about that and walk them through the process of getting those dings?
Definitely.
With
being locally owned, community bank, I never want to just kind of have that, cold relationship where it's a no and the conversation's over. I want to take time to explain to them, this is why, there's so many different qualifiers that we go through. Let's say, for example, it's credit score. I'm going to take time to go through them to say, this is what's reporting. It could be an error, could be something that's easily fixed, but I never want to just be an immediate, I don't have time for you now. We want to take that extra time and show them why they can't, qualify. Because I've had lots of customers that we can't qualify them right away, but we have a path to get them there. And when they, get those completed, they can come back to us and we can get them qualified then.
And sometimes that little extra hand holding is, so important, especially for a young family.
Yeah, because there could be something that you're just not aware of or just wasn't sure how to be able to address it, and that's where we can come along to help them figure out how to resolve that.
All right. One more thing. What's the secondary market?
So
Didn't even know. Is that the FHA and all that we were talking about?
So secondary market is loans that we are going to sell, and just in the same word, it's the secondary market. We sell those loans off, and that's where those are going to be serviced at. We also have in-house mortgages as well, which, like the name states, it's in-house. Those stay with Heritage Bank. They stay with us. So we have lots of different products, but that's kind of the difference there.
Okay. Any final words before we go?
I don't think so. Any questions, though, the biggest thing is to come talk to us.
All right. Heritage Bank of the Ozarks. You can give them a call, 417-532-BANK, and you can ask for Matt. Or you can go online, heritagebankozarks.com. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you for having me.
That's Matt Amsberg with Heritage Bank of the Ozarks. With us also, Casey Shadle from Shadle's. Is it still Shadle's Colonial Chapel?
Yes, Shadle's Colonial Chapel.
So, have you ever asked your parents where the Colonial Chapel came from?
I haven't, but I have kind of an idea.
Okay, so tell us.
It was Simpson Bledsoe Shadle Funeral Home when my grandpa bought into it years ago, and so then it went. My grandpa went ahead and just bought the other half of it, so just changed it to Colonial Chapel. And I think the reason is because of the pillars out front, possibly. Just the look of the funeral home looked colonial style, so I think that's kind of where that came from.
I always loved that building. I was sad when y'all moved. But you have a much bigger, much better facility now, including, of course, one thing that I don't think anybody local offers, and that is the Family Center.
Yeah, so we have a family center. It's just on the back side of our building, or it's a different building, but it's behind the funeral home there. It's a big kitchen area, a couple of ovens in it, and we can cater there. We have people cater to us and service our families. We build it with the idea of lots of families don't have a church family, so this gives them an outlet to go to, have a meal catered for their family and friends and whoever what they would like involved, and gives them a space to kind of get off the high of the funeral and kind of calm down and have some time together.
And a lot of people don't have, large families.
Right.
They are large homes, I'm sorry, to host their families and friends after they lose a loved one. So that type of facility can be such a takes so much stress off of a person.
Absolutely, and they don't have the cleanup, and they don't have and like I said, we have it all catered. So, and we can't do the like church dinners where potlucks or anything like that, just due to some interesting. But we have it catered. The family comes in, they have their meal, they have their fellowship, and they can walk away and don't have to clean up or do any of that. So yeah.
Now, is that included in the service packages?
No, it's just an extra thing. If they needed a place or would like to have it catered, then we get a couple of our local caterers here and have it done that way.
Talk to us about pre-planning.
Okay, yeah. This is a great idea for people because countless times we have people come in and they don't have insurance, they don't have a way to take care of their funeral expenses. So what this is prearranged service is an avenue for people to come in and make payments if they'd like to. They can pay it all in full, and the biggest thing it does is it freezes the cost of the funeral. Anything that we're involved in pricing, it freezes it. So 20 years from now, if the casket is a certain number, it's that same number 20 years from now. So it helps the family not only price-wise, but it wipes out inflation. And so again, and the kids of the parents that took this pre-need out, they don't have to make decisions on what they're wanting to do for the funeral. They already know what it is. It's already picked by the parents. So it's a win-win for everybody, really.
Yeah, I've heard some pretty fascinating stories about families when they're trying to make arrangements for a parent. Fist fights break out.
Absolutely.
It really
Yeah.
happens.
It does. Sometimes that does happen, unfortunately, but luckily it doesn't happen a lot. So yeah, we have seen some of that, but that's just kind of part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where that pre-planning comes in. We as parents, when we go, we don't want our kids fighting, and arguing and all of
Right.
that over something as simple as, what color dress,
Right.
I'm
Right.
going to wear, or something like
Sure.
that, So that pre-planning aspect is, it's essential,
It is.
for the peace of mind of the family.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a great idea for anybody, really. And I was having a conversation with a guy the other day that's around my age, and he's like, "That's not something you do at your age, is it?" I said, "You could do it any time. The sooner you do it, the better. I mean, for the family, it's the best, or for the better. So, anytime that it's not age appropriate, it's whenever anybody that would like to do it, we can walk you through all the steps and get everything set up for you."
And I guess if you start at 30, then, your payments are going to be lower. It won't be such an immediate financial burden.
Right.
And, it'll be taken care of when your time comes.
Right, absolutely. And the thing is, too, you can pay as much up front if you want. It's not like a car loan or a house loan, Matt, that we don't set all that. You set it yourself. We got some that come in and pay very little. We got some that pay a little more than that. So it's all over the board. So you can pay, like I said, make your own monthly payment. You can pay it all in full if you'd like, but it does freeze the cost, and it does help out in the end for sure.
No, what type of services do you offer at? I mean, there's so many different religions, that are in our world today. Do you offer the type of service for different religious
Typically around
preferences?
here, most everybody, the service would be the same, typically. Catholics is about the only one that's a little bit different, and a few other churches that do some different things. But for the most part, we just adapt to whatever that church family or that church does, and we adapt with the family and take care of them as best we can, yeah.
So any religion.
Yeah,
You're open.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. If you thinking about pre-need, you're welcome to give us a call, come by, set an appointment, and we can walk you through those steps. And I think that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Casey Shadle with Shadle's Colonial Chapel. And now Ryan Shears here. Ryan is with Titan Media Works. So what's up today, Ryan?
I'm hanging out with you today, which
You
is why
are.
I love to hang out with you.
Yeah, I know. I just can't think of a better person for you to hang out with than me. How about that?
I don't know how I'm going to follow mortgages and funerals, but we're going to
Yeah,
try.
I know.
Right? We're going to try.
Yeah. Well, So, Ryan, you've been doing a great job of, really connecting the community in various different ways. So tell us a little bit about how that all works. How are you bringing everybody together?
Well, it's a long story, so I'll shorten it as much as I can. I
Okay.
have been doing marketing part-time for about 12 years, full-time for the last 5. And you have to connect in your community. National. I've worked with brands like Bass Pro, True Value, Big Eye, professional fishermen, athletes, stuff like that. So I've marketed on that level. There's a completely different resonance here in town. There's a different way to do it when you're in a small town. It's much more technical than it is in a big town. So I think as we get older, like I'm in my mid 40s, but I look at my kids are in their 20s and my stepkids are in their like teens and stuff. We all have different ways of digesting media. We all have different ways to do it. And through the years, that's come down to kind of age range, what age range you are, what media you digest, where you are, what you get. So when I started marketing locally, because Titan Media Works is more of a national company, but we turned a little bit here local. And when I started doing that, it was just saying that adaptation of what the town is. And I get the edge of being from here, living here. I moved away for quite a while, did all my national stuff, and then come back. Thank you, internet. You can work from everywhere. And so I come back to do this. And it's still weird. Like in my office, I'm talking to Hollywood voice actors and athletes and doing all of this. And then I walk out of the office, go down to Boat Town, and me and Ashley put on a show, and we do all of this stuff. And I think what connects the community is just having an entertainment vein connected to that we've never really seen before. And as we see more people trying to do it and coming up, I like that fact that Lebanon has been rising to more of that multimedia level.
So, what's on your agenda?
Why
Why are you here today?
I am here because Ashley asked me to be here,
okay.
and thank you for the reminder. On our agenda now, Titan Media Works, we are looking to invest in our community. It is a national, multinational company with customers in several continents now and all over the place. And we're doing really, really well. And we feel that we can bring that here at home where we're getting ready to expand, and we're going to hire here to look for those social media people and to look for those video editors and those creative traits here in town. We get to expand here, and then we get to expand. We've got an antique show that we were doing, and we kind of retooled it, and it's coming out. And then we took Chamber Live to Good Morning Lebanon to make it more of an entertainment style, and to get to actually know people instead of people just coming on and like, here's what I do. How did you get there? What did you do? How do you do that? And we have other products in the line coming out, and we develop them, and we put them out, and that's just kind of keep watching those things, because we've went from a little bit of growth to starting this on the Lebanon thing, starting this by doing the show in this office, to now we're doing it in different places with multiple shows. So just keep watching as we grow. And just remember, I'm one guy doing this. So a lot of the local stuff is handled just by me, to where a lot of the editing in the back end I can send to my editors, because we have people in Tennessee, Colorado, all over. So we can send those, but here at Growth, it's just me, and I'm trying to do the best I can to help the community just know and understand what their community is.
That's great. That's great. So, how do you come up with your ideas on what you're going to do on Good Morning Lebanon?
Lack of sleep, really. So I'm just like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm playing video games, and I'm like, hey, that'll be a good idea. And since I'm director of operations at the company and I kind of run it, nobody's going to tell me no. So that's kind of how those ideas come about and work. I believe in the value of being different. You can go online and you can look at things people are doing, and you can copy those things, and you can do those things, and you can emulate those things. But to do your own thing is a little harder to do. And sometimes it's nerve-wracking. Sometimes it's nervous to like, hey, let's get a mortgage broker and have her stick her hand in a box, right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. And we've got some really big guests coming up that are going to do some of those shenanigans and stuff. And to have people do that, everybody just looked at me like I had two heads at first. I was like, what are you talking about? And then me and Brian and the dad jokes, me and Emily come out, and then I got previews of another bit come, and now everybody's like, yeah, let's do it. And so it's a matter of just being brave enough to do what nobody did before. And I'm like, nope, somebody's done that. Nope, somebody's done that. Nope, somebody's done that. So you take inspiration, and then you make it into your own. So
All right. That's great. That's great. And your show airs, is it one day a week?
it is. Right now it is 1 day a week. It's Friday mornings, 9 a.m., and it is live, which comes with its own constraints of how the internet is acting that day and who we get there and all of those things.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, right. we all know that. They are
Yeah.
constrained. I feel like I figure like live shows and live things like that, there's a certain connection people have, and then they live on, and you can watch them repeatedly and do the thing. So most of my programming stays on the live factor of it. Also, it takes way less time to produce it afterwards.
Right.
So I'm kind of just lazy like that. So
Hey, live is all. It's all good. I love live, and of course, we love our listeners too. And Ryan and Ashley have really developed a great what's the word I'm looking for?
Rapport?
That's a good word. Thank you. It's French.
It was dictionary. It was.
It
in
was.
there.
Oh, you looked it up. You knew I was going to ask you that question, right? Thank you, Ryan.
You're very welcome.
Well, we're out of time. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Ashley, real quick, at the grand opening of Champion Express, you're going to be there, right?
I'm going to be there with the big scissors.
Okay.
Yep.
How much barbecue you going to ingest before?
I'll probably have a plate.
Just
And,
one?
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
We'll see.
4?
You want to have a meat contest?
Oh,
That'd be great for
that'd
Good
be
Morning
great.
Lebanon.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't wanna
You're
participate.
welcome, Ryan. You're welcome. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Don't forget, tomorrow, First Friday, downtown Lebanon. And again, thanks to Matt Amsberg over at Heritage Bank. Great banking family at Heritage Bank. Stop in and see him if you need to have any banking done. Titan Media Works, Ryan Shear, Shadle's Colonial Chapel, Casey Shadle. And Casey's actually a legacy. You're like third generation?
Yes.
Third generation of Shadle's family. So
He's
yeah,
like, no big
it's great.
deal.
No big deal.
You know.
Man,
Just a legacy over here.
I'm just a legacy. Yeah. True, true. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Chamber Talk is brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce and Local Makes Sense and by Regional Radio KGEL. Have a great day.